Mr. LaMalfa, 5 minutes.
Well, thank you, Mr. Chairman, and we're getting down to kind of lonely in here again, aren't we? So I'm again multiple committees at the same time. So hope I didn't miss something I should have heard earlier on that pertained to the questions I'd have. So basically, I'll boil it down to this here, and Mr. Yoho touched on it here at the end of his comments. Broadband's a big deal these days in rural America, and you know, I have a very rural district in Northern California near where I farm as well, and so expanding the base of rural broadband's a pretty big deal in order to be able to keep up. So my question must be geared to you, Mr. Tom Halverson, on the issue. So when we're looking at it, we need to work to make it affordable. And again, now you got issues with rural and ratios of people to customers to infrastructure ratios aren't as easy as in urban areas. But you know, with the advance in technology that we need for all aspects of rural life, what can we see as a way to advance that infrastructure? So well, to Tom, you know, what is Farm Credit doing to help our rural broadband users in the broad sense?
Thank you for the question, Congressman. As I said earlier, we at CoBank are uniquely chartered among the institutions in the system to originate infrastructure lending, which includes a broad array of capacities in our communications business, which includes broadband. Now, we support doing that in all 50 states throughout rural areas of the country. We do that with customers in the form of communications, rural local exchange carriers, but frankly, we do it also with other industries. We support some broadband build-outs with rural electric distribution.
Let me jump in, please. So how is that playing out lately? What kind of trending are you seeing on that?
We are seeing a constant demand for that, a lot of growth.
And is it financeable? Is a lot of it making sense? You have to turn some of it away because it isn't adding up, or how's that look?
We have to strike the same balance that we have to strike, we all have to strike in our agricultural businesses and our other businesses, which is the desire to fulfill our mission and to do what our customers want us to do on the one hand, versus the desire and the need and the requirement to do safe and sound business, make sure that we're going to get paid back, be able to retain some earnings and pay patronage to our customer owners. So the answer is we're doing a lot of that business. We'd like to do more. We do turn it away from time to time. When we turn it away, it's because it may not be financeable in the construct as it's brought to us, but we will certainly go much further, much longer, much more patiently than some other private sector investors might do.
Do you find it boils down most of the time to just, again, number of ratio of customers to the infrastructure? Is it if there's too few, if it's too rural, you're unable to do it, or is there other factors?
That is an important factor, right? How many customers per mile? Yeah. But frankly, that's not much different than what we've been dealing with for 75 years with local hardline telephone companies.
So CoBank Farm Credit, you're able to find things in a little different. You can push a little harder than like what?
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely. We will go as far as we possibly can, but at the end of the day, we have to do things that are bankable. But we are able to do things for companies and co-ops where that may be a minor part of their business, and they can build out something there and do it with the reliance on the credit worthiness of their consolidated company.
All right. Anybody else on the panel want to touch on that? Like who's got the most rural base there? Maybe Mr. Jimmy Dotson, you got that in Texas perhaps, or?
Yes, I agree with the assessment Mr. Halverson gave, and as a matter of fact, there are times when CoBank will originate a loan and we'll participate in that loan when it impacts an area that we're sensitive to or it fits our portfolio well. So I would agree with his assessment and agree with the value of this ability to participate in those kinds of loans. Thank you.
One last one for anybody on the panel. My understanding is that there's four main banks for Farm Credit, four main facilities there, and so I just wonder, is that spreading it out far enough? Is that too much concentration of risk with the four main banks in my understanding that correctly?
The four banks, they have numerous associations underneath them that own the banks, and so there is a diversity of locations, of course. As far as risk, the system operates under a shared risk agreement that are based at the banks. So we want to make sure the bondholders have a comfort level when they buy and sell their bonds to help finance the system. And this agreement requires the banks to back each other up in providing that capital. The agency, in turn, makes sure there are adequate capital at the banks to support that. So, yeah, I think it's part of the structure system, the structure of the aid system that we're going to continue to look at and make sure that we have enough stability to make sure that the bondholders are comfortable and that we have adequate funds.
All right, thank you. I'll better stop there. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
How much time?